everybody.
Hi, friends. Well, from beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist,
where we, a couple of atheists, try to make sense of life here in these United States of America.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on the show today, Dan, we're going to be talking about getting kids out of bad churches, especially in certain sort of, how do you do that?
It's a conundrum of parental rights.
Yeah.
What happens if the other person in charge of your child is damaging your child's mental life?
Yeah.
By taking them to church.
And these two non-parents are going to dig deep into
you
this.
And I are every bit as qualified to talk about parenting as, I don't know, the Vatican or whatever.
And they freely talk about it.
They talk about it all the damn time. So I figure fair play to us. We're going to talk about it.
All right. Well, good. So stick around. You're going to not want to miss that one.
Oh my gosh. If you miss it, you're just going to feel the fool.
Well, but first we have some news to talk about, things that happened this week, Dan, like a story in the Tribune, the Salt Lake Tribune, about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, who have decided, even though we've continued calling them the Mormons because that's how we let people know who they are. But they have decided that they just want to be called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
They're now saddled with that because their idiot last prophet, decided, got a bee in his bonnet about it, and then went out and didn't just say, "Hey, we prefer this." He said, "If you say Mormons, Satan wins."
Yes, he said that in a 2018, I believe it must have been a general conference.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal.
It was, this was not just some little bee in a bonnet, Dan. This was a nasty hornet in a 10-gallon hat.
In his Mormon underpants.
Because he had the church's domain name changed.
Yeah.
They issued multiple statements to the media about how they should be referred to in articles and headlines.
I forgot about the domain name. This was how they were identifying the church itself.
Mormon.org.
They were Mormon.org. They had paid millions of dollars to brand Mormonism.
And now it's Church of Jesus Christ .org, right?
Yeah.
And so they full on ran away from being called the Mormons. And yet for some reason, recently they've been going after some Mormon themed podcasts that use the name Mormon in the name of the show, like the very famous Mormon Stories. That's the most famous of these. That's John Delen's. Delin?
I think it's Delin. Yeah.
Delin. He's so famous that I flubbed his name. Sorry, John Delin.
Well, he's never invited us on, so frankly.
No, and we have some serious Mormon stories to tell people.
We got street cred among the Mormons.
Anywho, so that's the biggest one. They're going after him. They've sent him cease and desist, asking him to distance himself from their Mormon brand.
Yeah.
Saying things in cease and desist letters like, the church respects your right to free speech and has no desire to censor your podcast, website, or social media accounts in any way. Our request is that you update elements of your branding to ensure viewers can distinguish your content from church content. And they specifically would really like them to stop using the name Mormon, right?
Yeah.
But they're in talks. Apparently, in the case of Mormon Stories, I guess his branding had been kind of the same color blue, or at least a similar color blue that the church uses.
Okay.
And I think he also had a Christus symbol on his logo.
They're sort of their Jesus,
which is
statue
their
guy.
Jesus statue, which isn't even anyway.
Yeah.
Which they totally stole, by the way.
Yeah.
And so it seems like this might work enough. He's completely unwilling to back off of the word Mormon, and
Good.
has some pretty strong legal standing to stand on. Apparently, one of the tests is whether there has been brand abandonment,
Right. Or
which is normally,
if you will,
and with no intention to ever return to it.
Right.
Which apparently is kind of hard to prove, right? Do they have the intent to ever return to this brand?
Right.
But this attorney that they talked to in this story, she says that this is like, they multiple times over the pulpit were saying that they were going to abandon it, that they did not want people to use it anymore, that it is Satan's handiwork, right? That you make Satan happy and Jesus cry, essentially, right? When you use the word Mormon. And so it's like, and then they also renamed their website and they changed the handles on their social media accounts, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like, this is clearly an abandonment case,
right?
Like, this is hard for them. They're going to have a really hard time proving that they want anything, that they should still control this word and its use, which they never really had a strong case for in the past anyway, because there are other offshoots of the original sort of thing that Joseph Smith made back in the day, right? His Mormon Church and the Mormon movement. Well, we've talked about this before on the show. There's hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Right. Some of them
and not
larger,
only that, but
some of them smaller, but they freely use the word Mormon to describe their own selves.
Right.
Right. And so it's like, so they've never really had an exclusive claim to this.
Yeah.
And now they're going around and they're harassing Mormon Stories and Mormon News Roundup, Mormon Discussion, Radio Free Mormon, these different podcasts, some of which are willing to kind of, play along because the church is being a little bit of a bully here. One of them had been started to pursue getting a trademark for the name of their show,
right?
Because a couple copycat shows had popped up, and so they were like, "Well, we need a trademark to protect us."
Yeah.
And in the process of pursuing a trademark for their show, the Mormon Church has apparently gone after them, telling them they can't do that because they own the trademark.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Well, there you go. I love
that's
it.
happening.
I think that's hilarious.
It'll no longer be Mormon Stories.
It'll be, yeah.
Settling on.
I feel like the time is ripe for fun, playing with
shenanigans.
For shenanigans. Thank you. I tell you what, man. If someone wants to shenanigan with us, if someone wants to team up with us and shenanigan the Mormons, now's the moment.
Well, what I'm gonna set up a podcast called Mormon Stories, and it's just gonna be people sharing their own traumatic experiences of listening to Mormon stories.
Mormon stories,
because
now you're shitting on another podcast. And then the episode just never ended. I just was waiting for it to end. Why isn't it stopping? Why is it not coming to a conclusion?
It's a 3-parter.
I listened to 4 hours and then it said go to part 2. What's happening? I really like John DeLynn. Like,
I think it's a great show. It's an important show, but it is interminable.
It is so long. You have money for editors. What are you doing? Okay. All right. I'm going to take us here to Utah, down to Eagle Mountain, Utah.
Ooh, beautiful Eagle Mountain.
Is it?
I will say I've never seen an eagle down there.
No.
Except for the big statue as you cross over, what's the name of it? Friendship Pass or whatever it's called.
Oh gosh,
a bunch of people holding hands.
I do literally everything in my power to avoid this part of the state of Utah.
I have to go there for work all the time.
Oh my god,
I drive out to Eagle Mountain probably once a week.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Or once every 2 weeks, probably.
It's in Utah County, which is south of Salt Lake County, and Utah County is the home of Provo, where BYU is and stuff. But this is on the other side of Utah Lake. And it's bleak out there. There's nothing out there. It's awful.
Sorry
if you live there. Move somewhere real. Anyway, in Eagle Mountain, there's a high school called Cedar Valley High.
Oh yeah.
And they recently, and these high schools these days. You and I grew up in a time when, like, if your high school had a TV channel, had their own like TV production class. That produced something that was pretty swanky.
That was fancy.
Our school did.
Oh wow!
And our school, and it was really cool. Like, only the coolest kids were a part of that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure. AV was always where the cool kids wound up back in the 90s.
Yeah, it's true. Anywho, now anybody can make professional looking stuff just sort of with a couple clicks. It was harder back in the day. You don't believe me, but it was. Anyway, so videos are part of school life now. And at Cedar Valley High School, there was a video made that featured assistant principal Scott Mansfield, who decided that he had a good message for the students, and he was wrong. No part of his message was good.
Okay.
It started with a whole bunch of very religious talk. It never was like, you have to believe in God or anything. It was just assuming that everyone was on the same page.
Sure.
He was like, I have this funny joke. He started off by shitting on himself, which I think is a very funny way to start a talk to kids. This is a quote. Guys, I am really imperfect. I am not the greatest human that's ever lived. I have all sorts of weaknesses and flaws. I joke with, and then I guess it's the principal's name, Seivert, that I'm a loser. What do I mean by a loser? Well, I lose things. Anyway, he thinks he's being funny. He's starting off with downplaying so that he can then brag later. But like, he really starts off strong, calling himself a piece of shit. I think that's funny. And then he talks about he says, my joke is that if there's a heaven, when I get up to heaven, if they go to see if I can come in or not, they're going to look at my list of sins and problems and weaknesses and say, you're not welcome here. But on that list, the strength that I have that might save me will be that I know how to work hard. He says, in other words, I will not have the sin of laziness on my list.
Yeah, okay.
Now, okay. And that wasn't those weren't the only references to like sin and heaven and all that sort of stuff. So that's problematic. Just the sort of framework, the religious framework.
Yeah.
And also, if you're Mormon or if you were raised Mormon, you'll catch the vibe. It's got a very Mormon talk vibe to it.
Sure.
Especially the way Mormon adults talk to Mormon young people.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think that it's interesting. Hemant Mehta posted this on his blog, and I think he was right to point out that while the religious stuff is a real problem, the fact that he goes on for minutes talking about how hard work will fix everything. If you have, if you're depressed or sad, guess what? This is a literal quote. If you ever go to bed depressed or sad, guess what? You probably haven't worked hard enough. If you've ever gotten a bad grade, you probably haven't worked hard enough. If you feel really bad about yourself when you look in the mirror, you probably haven't worked hard enough. And to that I say, fucking yikes, dude.
Yeah.
But it
sounds like he's found the right profession, Dan.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like the call to serve as a high school administrator was one that was very, very properly answered by him, right? Like,
my answer to that, Frank, is that part of his message, proving that hard work is the answer to all of life's ills, is that the way that he proved that he's a hard worker is that he has 2 full-time jobs. So so maybe the other one is where his real. Do
we know what else he does?
I don't know what else he does.
A second full-time job?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So anywho,
maybe he needs some sleep. He needs some
right.
He needs to
maybe or maybe he has
have some time to like sort through some things.
He's got to work 80 hours a week just to keep the depression at bay, because obviously he goes to bed feeling depressed and not good about himself, so he has to work more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
and the depression of living in Eagle Mountain. Sorry, people who live in Eagle Mountain.
I'm telling you, I
have a couple out there.
These kids can't help their depression. Look at you, sir. Like, obviously, you being in charge of these kids is going to depress anybody.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's as someone who worked his butt off and then got bad grades because my brain didn't work in the way that they wanted it to. And there's so many people for whom work is not possible for whatever reason, or the kind of work that a school would demand is not possible.
Sure.
It's just so weird and like painfully stupid to put that message out there, that if anything's going wrong in your life, you're probably just not working hard enough.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is that it's you can feel how informed by his religion this is. For those of you who don't know, industry is the Utah state motto,
right?
Because Mormons work hard and there's a whole work ethic and work.
Yeah.
Mostly so that we don't have to actually pay anybody. Go and do some work to clean up the ward house. Go and do some work to do this and that and the other. It's volunteer work. Yes. Be the pastor of the ward. Be the bishop.
Yeah.
Work. We're not going to pay you.
Idle hands, Dan. Idle hands.
It's just so funny to me. And the other thing is that like the religious mindset can't imagine that anyone's life is actually different than their own. We all know the right way to be, and no one else could possibly be other. This should work for everyone. Whatever my solution is, it is universal.
Right. Well, because that's once you have the approval of God on something, right? Then it must be good.
Must be great.
Right? And so why not promote it, Dan? Well, Dan, so I know that you're getting excited for next year, Dan, and it's coming up quick because the World Cup, Dan, is coming to America. Dan.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be so exciting. There are few things in this world that I love more than a good soccer/football match.
So there's nothing World Cupier than the World Cup. That's what I will say.
I love me some sports. And anyway, so yeah, it is. World Cup is coming to the United States, and they are scattering it all throughout the country. There's I don't even know how many host cities there are. But one of them is Seattle up in Washington, Dan, where they've already announced this. This was already a thing before they even knew what teams were going to be playing there. They had expressed the fact that because the game that was going to be hosted in Seattle was taking place during the city's already scheduled Pride weekend. Oh. This is LGBTQ plus Pride weekend.
Sure.
That they were going to sort of brand this as the Pride match. Right? Everything about this is going to be rainbows and gays.
Only gay players, exclusively gay players out on the field.
Only the gayest players. Well, anyway, so they had no idea who was coming, Dan. No idea. I'm going to let you guess 2 countries in this world that are lined up to be playing each other in Seattle
for the gay. I'm going to
for the gay games.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to hope that it is Iran and Turkey.
You are so fucking close. Iran and Egypt are going to be playing each other.
I love it.
During the Pride match.
If they back off of this gay thing, I'm going to be so furious.
Neither of them is happy about this at all. The Iranian team has already come out with a fully this is an outrage. Response. Let's see. This is the head of Iran's football federation was quoted as saying, let's see, he labeled it an irrational move that supports a certain group.
Okay. And, it does support a certain group.
And they're going to appeal against FIFA about this. Homosexuality is, of course, illegal in Iran.
Right.
And can be punishable by death.
Yeah.
Egypt, while it's not expressly outlawed, they use a law that prohibits debauchery to go after gay people.
Yeah.
Which confuses some things. They're really only concerned about the act, it seems.
I know. Most of my gay friends are well past their debauchery phases, to be perfectly honest.
They confuse, a state of being with just sex.
Yeah.
They hear gay, they hear pride, and they just think sex.
Well, everyone who hates gays,
because they have obviously also completely dehumanized gay people.
Right. You're just sex maniacs, all of you.
You can't imagine, Dan. I know you've known gay men. You can't imagine.
Oh.
Well, anyway.
Here's what I think.
This is happening. I didn't know why Iran's all that concerned about the whole thing. Apparently, half their players are probably not even going to be let into the United States because they have military service in their background, and we've declared their military a terrorist organization.
Oh my God.
So
yeah. Here's the thing.
Going to be we should not be hosting this thing.
No.
Right now.
Well, and it's not us. In fairness, it is it's North America. So Canada and Mexico are also part of it.
That's right. I've heard that.
But this is why the head of FIFA gave our idiot president a peace prize.
Right.
Which what the fuck are you talking about? But it's just hey, we know that you're so peaceful and so amazing at peace that you'll let in the Iranian soccer players, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, that'll 100% work with him. Yeah. He will absolutely carve that out. Here's what I think needs to happen. Regardless of how FIFA handles this, and if FIFA sort of relents and either changes who plays there, right, or takes away the gay part, I think that audience, and maybe the audience, maybe the crowd at any Iran or Egypt game, people need to start showing up in rainbow burqas. I feel like drag rainbow burqas need to be ubiquitous, need to haunt these teams like the plague. They need to look up, and everywhere they look, they need to see men in drag with rainbow flag burqas.
Full on burqas.
Full on burqas.
You know, not even hijabs.
No.
You want to go like
I want to go burqas. I want
burqa.
it to be absolutely clear what the message is, and that is we are making fun of you and we're gaying your there's yucking your yum, we're gaying your whatever.
Well, if nothing else, show up with gay pride shirts,
yes,
and beanies, and
waving flags, and probably catcalling all of the players.
Yeah.
Woo! So sexy in those shorts. Learn it in Arabic. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take us now to another repressive regime, Florida, where Governor Ron DeSantis, interestingly, has decided to oppress the Muslims. So, he's sort of tacking on to what was done in Texas, where they have declared. Where the governor there, Governor Abbott in Texas, has declared CARE, which is the Council on American Islamic Relations. They have now been designated in both Texas and now in Florida as a foreign terrorist organization. Okay. This is very much an American organization. It's called the Council on American Islamic Relations for a reason, but maybe they have a couple of chapters outside of the U.S. I'm not sure. They also declared the Muslim Brotherhood to be a foreign terrorist organization. That one's a little more on the mark because it was started outside of the U.S. But guess what? You could easily do the same thing with the Catholic Church if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But they've provided no evidence to support this claim other than they are Muslim and we don't like that
Scary.
about them. That they scare us and we like to villainize them. And this would be somewhat toothless, except that obviously it promotes enmity between Muslims and sort of anyone who aligns themselves with MAGA, whatever, and DeSantis and whatever. And
we
also,
should be promoting amity.
Sure. Anyway, but the other thing is that this means that Florida's anyone, the Florida executive branch will now be told that they can't work with anybody who's been a member of CARE or who works with CARE or whatever. So like contracts, some nice Muslim contractor who wants to bid on a government job, if they're in any way associated with CARE, if they're trying, if they're fighting for a little bit of free speech for Muslims or not being treated like crap, they won't get that job. So that's fun. This, by the way, is the same type of thing that was done to Jewish people in the earlier in the 20th century, and even Italians and Irish people. Like this is the kind of language that does real harm,
right,
out in the world. So
that's
fun.
Yeah, history's a funny thing. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
we're
these-
rhyming, baby.
Yeah, big time.
It doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes.
It's some pretty, intensely.
Yeah.
At times it seems. All right. Well, Dan, down in New Orleans,
The Big Easy.
there is a big archdiocese, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New Orleans.
Very Catholic state, Louisiana.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about the ongoing sexual abuse case against. I mean, I get them all confused. But
I was going to
mention this before.
Probably. I don't like.
There
one
have been
of the things
40
we said is that if you have a diocese, you've got a sexual abuse problem.
Yeah.
So
There have been 40 dioceses in the United States that have been sued by sexual abuse survivors.
Yeah.
Seeking settlement, with the Catholic Church. Because the Catholic Church basically managed a child abuse organization, right? They would just let their priests and deacons and other personnel basically get away with abusing kids.
Yeah.
They would just shuttle the priests around to different dioceses. They would just move people around.
They would facilitate their getting away with it. They wouldn't just let them get away with it passively. They would facilitate it.
They would. And so rightly, about 600 victims of sexual abuse in Louisiana are going after, or have been going after, the Catholic Church there. And the judge, a federal bankruptcy judge, because the diocese went into bankruptcy.
Yeah. This is their playbook. They run. They have a whole playbook.
They have approved a $230 million settlement to go to these roughly 600 victims.
Okay.
This is much higher than the bishop, the Archbishop so-and-so had originally predicted they would have to pay out in the early days of this whole thing. He felt like they would probably pay out about $7 million because Louisiana law at the time would have excluded so many of these people from actually suing.
Oh, wow.
Then the legislature passed one of these laws that got rid of the statute of limitations in this regard. And the state Supreme Court upheld that. And now they're on the hook for $230 million. But what's sort of galling to a lot of these survivors is that through this whole process, the church has paid out $50 million in legal fees.
Of course.
Trying to defend themselves from having to pay out anything. And they thought they would only pay $7 million to begin with. And
which is funny
to
because
defend their assets, they just kept shelling out the money.
Yeah. And if they had offered the victims, if they had said, hey, look, we'll give you $50 million to split between you right off the shoot, I'm guessing they would have taken it. So rather than doing 200 plus million here and then another 50 million to their lawyers, they could have gotten away with just that 50 million and walked away. It would have lasted a lot less time and whatever, but
and you're probably absolutely right about that. In a separate set of negotiations, Travelers, that's the insurance company, seems to be agreeing to about $75 million payout also to the victims because they were insuring the church
against
during this period
of
time. Yeah, I'm not. You would assume that it was probably something. I don't know if it was explicitly listed as something they were being insured
Here's a hint.
But it wasn't excluded from their insurance.
If
And
there
so
are any insurance
travelers-
executives out there listening to this show, let me just say, don't insure churches against this kind of lawsuit.
You're gonna get sued.
It's a losing battle, my friends. Like they may have skated for a while, but the piper's coming.
Yeah. So this is, like I said, one of 40 large cases.
Yeah.
About 30 of them now have been settled. And so this is an ongoing issue. And I think it's really important to bring up every single time one of these comes along, because it's good to be holding the Catholic Church accountable for this. It's good that we don't forget what they're really about.
Yeah.
Right. And what any church of a certain size is actually really about, which is protecting their assets. Right. And so they would much rather protect their assets than do the right thing. Right. And so,
They'd
and
much rather do
there's also
anything
this whole
than
thing.
do the right thing. It's shocking how like the twists and turns that they will go through rather than just do the right thing. All they have to do is go, oh shit, our bad. This was clearly wrong on our part. We take full responsibility. We will and we will work to make things right. If they did that, they'd pay less. Mm-hmm. And like maybe someone in the world could respect them. Yeah. But instead it's like, no, I'm going to fight with everything I've got.
And apparently part of like a lot of these settlements is an agreement by the diocese to enact child protection programs. Right. So that in the future, kids aren't, subjected to this same kind of abuse by what should be trusted adults. And I think it's called Safe Environment is the name of the program that they've been implementing. But this program is proving to be ineffective at keeping predators away from kids, because in one very famous case, there was a serial abuser by the name of George Brignac, who was allowed to be a lecturer in elementary schools.
Jesus
he was I don't know, was he convicted? But I think he must have been convicted.
It doesn't matter if he
was a
someone
known
whispered
abuser.
something about him.
Yeah,
you keep him out of the schools.
He was a known abuser. He was known to have gone around repeatedly abusing children, and this like system that they have in place to protect children completely failed to sniff out not somebody who like came from the outside and had like some sort of background and blah 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 and screening. This one of their own, somebody who was known from within to be a problem, and it still let them through.
Well,
like they didn't have to do any like background checks.
It's all self-policing, and these guys don't self-police. They literally like pat each other on the back and help each other out. Yeah. So, okay, it's just dumb. I will be shocked when and if they ever come up with a system that's actually helpful. Sometime in the year 3042 or whatever, that'll be impressive. I'm finally going to take us to it's your favorite time of the year, Frank. It's
Christmas.
Nope. Pew research time. It's some new Pew polling has come out. And I know how you feel about a good poll.
I love a poll.
The Pew does lots of surveys and polling. They did the National Public Opinion Reference Survey, and they of course have their famous religious landscape study. And they, one of the things that they look at, and we talk about this a lot, is sort of trend lines for, religions losing a lot of people and none gaining people and all that sort of thing. Anyway, one of the big headlines for the last couple of years is has been that the speed at which Christianity was losing people, and religion in general was losing adherents, had leveled off. That was the big thing. And so people were wondering, is it going to start to, is religion going to start to gain ground again? And so that's what people have been watching. What's going to happen?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
And it turns out that at least for now, with all the new data in, it's just staying leveled. It's not. There's no sign of it going of religion gaining ground again. But
okay.
It hasn't started. It hasn't started back on the down slope. It's still pretty much level at this moment.
That's so interesting.
Claims of a revival are wrong.
Okay.
That's not what seems to be happening. But we have reached a little plateau point.
It's time to double down, Dan.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because things are so crazy in the United States right now. I think people just want stability. I think everybody's just sort of hunkering down where they are for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, there is some movement in the extremes. There are extreme ding-dongs moving toward all
extremism.
male, all men moving toward like Christian extremism. And
I mean,
a bunch of people still, young people are still moving out. And people at Pew anticipate further dropping because young people are not choosing religion more. So,
right.
So what's going to happen is as older
but they also
people
aren't choosing it less right now.
Not
isn't
currently.
that true for? I mean, that's kind of the stuff I've heard recently. Is that like for the younger generations, it's just sort of like locked at a number right now.
It's stable right now, correct?
Yeah.
But the number, old people are still sort of stable, and they're much higher religious, but they're also dying. And so as the old people die off,
sure.
The number of religious people in the population, the percentage of religious people in the population will naturally fall.
Sure.
Because of that die-off of religious believers.
They just need to die already.
It's always the wrong ones that die, too. It's always the wrong ones.
No. Obviously... Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. I like feels like it doesn't feel like a bad thing.
It's not
but
good
it does
news,
feel,
but it's not.
No, it's not. It's like nothing news. But like it feels like it's a call for us to sort of redouble our efforts, right?
Yeah.
To put out something positive about being not affiliated with a church.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's
continue to sort of show that off. Like, hey, life is great.
Look how much fun we're having.
Right?
Look at how much life there is to live on the other side of this.
And look at the good life that we lead.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is a time for like non-believers to be getting out and doing more volunteering, to be honest. Right. To be more involved in their community, to be a little more outspoken as good, conscientious citizens and neighbors, right? Like that's the opportunity that we have, not to be too always looking for the positive spin on things, but like
that's not a positive spin, but it's a positive plan, is what it is. It's a way forward,
sure,
that gives us the best chance at. Because what we need is more and more people to realize that being religiously unaffiliated doesn't mean that you are satanically affiliated or that you are evil or that you're bad.
Yeah. And
when people start to see that, then even if they stay in their religions, they won't try voting against us, or they won't try, they won't want the sort of attempts to demonize us by politicians will ring false and that sort of thing.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there you go. If you would like to chime in about this or any of the things that we've talked about today, please do so. Podcast@thankgodimatheist.com is the email address.
or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442. Stick around. There's more show coming up.
Well, we had some folks write into us, and I'm just going to dive right into that.
Excellent.
This was unsigned, but it says, Hey, Frank and Dan. Oh, nope, it is signed. It's just not signed at the bottom. I'm dumb. Hey, Frank and Dan. Amber from Indianapolis here. Hi, Amber.
Hi.
I'm listening to the episode where you discussed Gothmas and talked about how Jewish or Muslim version would seem more offensive. I think the reason that doing a gimmicky Christmas fest is more accepted is, yes, as you stated, part of our culture, but also because Christmas is just a big capitalist money grab in our society at this point.
Yeah.
We're literally the country of Honda Days and Toyota-thon. What's another themed Christmas fest, you know? Hell, Pokepalooza, a monthly Pokemon card trading event at the Indiana State Fairgrounds I attend with my son, is doing a whole Pokemoss event this weekend
Fun.
for the December trade. These themed events are par for the course here in the U.S. Anyway, love the show, guys. Well, I am going to protest Pokemoss. I am going to start a big online campaign to try to boycott it.
Well, yeah, because it just makes a mockery of Gothmas.
Right?
Like,
yeah. What are they trying to do? Gothmas already has fairground status. You can't just take
come on.
You can't just take Gothmas and throw Pikachu at it.
What? Yeah, it's a disgrace, Stan. Like, can we not respect Gothmas?
We need to put the goth back in Gothmas.
I have a feeling there's plenty of goth in Gothmas, Stan.
Yes, it's true. All right. John wrote in to say, Hi, Frank and Dan. Your segment about medically assisted suicide was very powerful. Oh, wait, we got scolded. We're not calling it that, John. We're calling it medical assisted death.
Okay.
Because the word suicide has, as Terry has pointed out to us, negative stigma attached to it.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Anyway, sorry, John, I'm not really castigating you. I'm just making sure that Terry doesn't have to write us another letter. John goes on to say, it is legal here in Maine with a rigorous process for getting approval. One part of the discussion resonated with me. I think I would not have the option because I have been diagnosed with bipolar 2 depression and anxiety. I have had suicidal ideation as well. I have been having successful psychotherapy for 10 years. Would my medical history prevent me from qualifying even if I was not in a prolonged depressive state? I think probably it would, no matter my diagnosis, pain, or prognosis. Would the religious beliefs of the doctors and others influence the decision? Perhaps. While I hope I never have to consider this, I'm thankful that the option is available to me. It's a valid concern, John. I don't know that it's necessarily one that you have to worry that much about because like one of the things that has to happen is in order to even qualify for this, you would have to be terminally ill and have a diagnosis that's 6 months or something. And at that point, I think most doctors will just be like, don't worry about the depression. You know what I mean? Because they know that you've only got so long to live anyway. And most of the doctors who participate in these programs, who are working these programs, they're not religious. You know what I mean? You're not going to get a Catholic doctor who's like, I'm opposed to this whole thing. I don't even know why I'm in this program.
But fine, sure, you qualify.
Check. Yeah. But for those of you out there who might be considering medical assistance in dying, maybe don't bring up the depression. If you have depression, that's fine. Don't bring it up though. In those interviews, just talk about the cancer.
Yeah.
Or the ALS or whatever.
I mean, I thought that it was something that they're trying to make sure that depression isn't the reason why
Right.
you're seeking assisted medical assistance in death.
Right.
I want to make sure for Terry I get that right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's why you're seeking it, right? Is because of your current medical condition.
Yeah.
That's going to be bringing pain and suffering that you don't need to face, right?
Yeah.
That continued, like, if your state of mind is good,
is clear enough
and clear, I think that's what they're really trying to figure out. I'm not a medical professional, so
but yeah, I mean, like, literally no one would get it, because everyone who is considering medical assistance in dying has a pretty depressing life at that moment. So that's kind of part of the gig. You got to kind of factor that in some way.
Indeed.
All right. And finally, James wrote into us to say, longtime listener, first time emailer. I just wanted to reach out regarding your discussion this week about Christmas music. That wasn't it. Oh, we did discuss anyway. While Christmas music while shopping and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Years ago, I was put in charge of creating a secular playlist for a big work Christmas event. Okay. Since then, I've kept it up and adopted it as my personal soundtrack for the season.
Yeah.
I listen to it everywhere, from driving to shopping while wearing my AirPods. This does a nice job of putting me in a festive mood and drowning out whatever anyone else is playing.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm even the unofficial background music DJ at my religious family gatherings, so I quietly use this playlist as a pleasant, Jesus-free soundtrack. No one seems to notice, and it makes the day easier for me, and I suspect for the closeted non-believers I make eye contact with during the prayer.
Nice.
I think that's brilliant. Like, volunteer to be the music person at your family's events.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Hey, I put together a whole Christmas playlist. Can I play it?
Yeah. And they're going to be classics that everybody knows and loves. Yeah. And nobody's going to notice that you didn't put "Oh Little Town of Bethlehem" in,
right,
or whatever,
because they're going to be too happy about White Christmas with Bing Crosby.
Yeah, because those are the songs that we love around Christmas. I mean, more than like the religious-y ones.
Yeah,
like last night we had a couple of friends over, and Dave put on some Christmas music. And it was like a streaming service thing, right? And it started off with like all the fun secular stuff. And then all of a sudden it like switched to, a little bit more, I think Little Town of Bethlehem or something like that came on. And it was like, okay, this shifted the mood. This is no longer light and fun. It's now, because all the religious ones tend to be played in sort of like sad, somber tones, right?
Or like reverent and lovely and pretty.
Yeah.
And you know what? Pretty's not the vibe, baby.
No.
Festive is the vibe.
I want Mariah fucking Carey. Right? I want the bells. Boom, boom. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Dan.
Yeah.
I think we have people to thank.
Okay. Dive in.
Time?
I want to hear it. I'm
very excited. We've got a bunch of people to thank.
Oh, good.
We have a new deacon, Dan, this week by the name of Ryan.
Hooray. Thank you, Ryan. Wonderful.
We have 2 new teachers by the name of Tom and Brian.
Okay. Excellent.
And we have a new priest. Oh, so Blar, who's been around for a while.
Okay.
Edited their membership to the priest level.
Oh, wow.
And so thank you, Blar. That is something that can be done.
Yeah, you can pay us more. You're already paying us. Why not some more?
Yeah. And speaking of people who've been paying us more, Dan.
Yeah.
I want to get to, well, before I get to that, I just want to make sure that people know that they can go to our website, thankgodimatheist.com, and where they can click on the support tab.
Yeah.
And that's how you become a supporter of the show.
Yeah. Or just to thinkimatheist.com/donate.
Or /donate.
Either way.
It gets you there.
Yeah.
You can sign up on Patreon, which is what all these folks did, or there's also PayPal available if that floats your boat.
If you'd rather Bezos get his cut.
But we've had
no, it's not Bezos. PayPal's not Bezos.
A little bit Elon Musk, maybe
Peter Thiel. I don't know.
Peter Thiel, one of those guys.
Somebody.
Anyway, Boschvark and Alexandra have been in a little bit of a heated competition.
They've been vying
to be the Lord and Savior, our top donor. This is a big deal, right?
It's huge.
And I wasn't around last week. I was a bit under the weather thanks to a nasty vaccination.
See, the anti-vaxxers are right.
I would do it again though because I'm protected.
Vaccine injured. We're all gonna die.
I feel better knowing that I'm protected against shingles, everybody, but it was bad. But anyway, so last week Boschvark edited their membership up and was the Lord and Savior.
So for last week, well done, Boschvark.
So thank you, Boschvark, Lord and Savior. Hallelujah. Woo!
However,
we have a new Lord and Savior this week by the name of Peter.
Peter! What?
Peter!
We have another contender in the works.
There's a new. It's a three-way competition.
Let me tell you something. It is a there is a war in heaven, everybody. And I don't know where it's going to land from one week to the next. It is a the race is on.
This is some crazy shit.
I'm down for it. Listen, if you're out there, any one of you could be our Lord and Savior.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to shoot the moon. But you give us. You could do it just for like a week.
Yeah.
Who knows?
You could.
So there you go. Peter, anyway. Well done. Our new and reigning champion, Lord and Savior.
Peter!
More show coming up. All right, Frank. Here's the thing. The jumping off point for this discussion was an article on the Friendly Atheist about a case in Maine that is going all the way to the Maine Supreme Court because the shitbags at Liberty Council or whatever have decided to get behind a lawsuit. And here's what happened. A woman and a man had a kid. They weren't married, but they eventually split up. But they agreed to co-parent, they were both going to take parenting duties. And one of the things that they agreed to was that they would be both in charge of the child's religious upbringing. Well, the mother of this child, Ava's the child, the mother, Emily Bickford, decided to start taking the kid to a very particular Christian church. This is a fire and brimstone church.
Geez.
This guy talks about people writhing in hell all of the time. It's not psychologically good for a 12-year-old. I'm just going to say
adults either.
No. No, it's not good for anybody. And so the father, one Matthew Bradeen, saw so many disturbing changes in his daughter that he decided he was going to try and get a judge to put him in charge of this kid's religious upbringing.
Right. It's
not that he was trying to make her an atheist or whatever, but get her out of that.
Right, sure.
This
Fair enough.
And they had a court expert saying that this was a particularly culty Christian sect that Bickford was taking her kid to.
Oh.
Just really scary stuff. And Bickford started to lie about it and brainwash. And like, she said, I'm going to take our kid to the Capitol, not mentioning that like she was taking her to like an anti-abortion rally or something stupid like that. It was all this stuff.
Okay.
So look, okay. Yeah. That's going to the Supreme Court. That's going to be stupid. I hate all of it, but it does bring up a really intractable problem, which is like, yes, we have the right. It brings up the problem of indoctrination in general.
Yeah.
Because it's really possible to abuse your child.
Yeah.
By taking them to church. And how do we, as a society, reconcile ourselves with that? In this case, one religious parent is saying to another religious parent, your religion is doing harm.
Yeah.
But what would happen if one parent was non-religious and said your religion is doing our child harm?
Ooh, now that starts to get into an interesting territory, because like I can see a judge being like, well, at least this child is getting some religious upbringing with the father over here, right? Yeah. So it's okay to like say no to this other horrible thing. Yeah. But yeah, that's an interesting question. If it was a horrible thing versus an atheist father, would they do it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Would they say, no, it's this child's actually better with this atheist father? Like, it feels like there's still so much stigma.
Yeah.
Like, which stigma do they choose? Cult? Yeah. Yeah. Cult or atheist?
I mean, and what if, and we know what would happen if a Christian parent tried to get a Muslim parent to stop taking their kid to Islam.
Sure.
We know.
Well, that's a no-brainer, Dan.
That's a no-brainer. Like, so many courtrooms in this country would be like, no, you got to let them take them. Or, I'm just kidding. It's the opposite. Yeah. They would say, no, you
can't.
You can't.
Get them out of there.
Get them out of there.
Muslim Brotherhood.
They're being radicalized or whatever.
Yeah.
Only Christian radicalization is okay. But yeah, the Liberty Council is, they're strapping themselves onto this bomb. Really hard. And like, some of the things that they're bringing up in their complaint are absurd. For instance, they hate that the original judge in her, I think it was 14-page ruling, which is not that long of a ruling. But the original judge, when she wrote the word God, she did it with lowercase g instead of an uppercase G. And that
so disrespectful.
That reveals, according to them, quote, some disdain and hostility for Bickford's monotheistic religious beliefs.
Shut up.
It's so dumb.
Shut up.
It's so funny because I've stopped capitalizing the word God unless it's, the beginning of a sentence or whatever. I've just started using our grammar rules is what I've done.
Yeah.
If you come to me and you say my God's name is God, that's their name.
Yeah.
I'll capitalize it.
Sure.
But if that's just a title, no,
that's just what that entity is supposedly,
Yeah, I don't capitalize the P in president, and I don't capitalize the G in God. That's just like, that's a title.
Well, I don't succeed in this, as I'm sure you just listening to the show probably would reveal, but like especially when writing, I try to pluralize God, to talk about gods.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe in gods.
Right.
Because I think it just makes it more clear that I'm not even talking about your God. Right. I'm talking about the concept here.
Right.
I don't.
Your God is lumped in with that, but that's not. I think that's actually smart. If someone says, "Do you believe in God?" I frequently say, "Which one?"
Sure,
but I think that you're right. That it's like, no, I don't believe in gods is a great answer.
Yeah, because it's also a little bit of a thinker for them too. Right?
Yeah,
like
because half of them, it's never occurred to them that there could be more than one God.
Yeah.
There's a real God, and then there's all these pretend gods and whatever.
They've all deluded themselves into thinking that they all believe in the same God.
Right.
essentially, right?
Right.
That they just have the wrong, those people over there have the wrong take on God.
Right.
Right. But we all believe in the same and that's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. They don't all believe in the same God.
Right.
I defy you.
You're saying even Christian to Christian, they don't believe.
Even Christian to Christian,
Yeah.
right? The conception of God, Mormon God is not Catholic God.
Right.
Not even close.
Well, and Catholic
right?
God is not evangelical right-wing Christian God.
Yeah.
They're very different gods.
Yeah. Like you can't, one God wears like a suit and tie, right? And the other one is vapor. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. But back to the kids. Back to the what do we do? I have a friend whose ex wants to teach their kids, my friend and her ex were in the same church, Mormon, and then they split up and she left Mormonism, and now she has to deal with her ex, who's a very conservative Mormon, trying to, and he has the legal right, you know what I mean? Like they agreed to certain things and he has the right to take them to church. But he's like, he's really putting the screws to these kids, trying to make sure that it's not working. That's the nice thing. But trying to make sure that they believe in Jeebus and Donald Trump is the true Christ and all this sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah. So what's going on? Is she? I mean, getting
I guess the truth is that the way that you win in any of these battles, other than, I mean, if the kids are okay, the way you win is just by being a good person.
Sure.
And they'll see that you're a good person, and then they'll make whatever choices they make, but they won't be at least assholes. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want. It's nice if they're not religious, but even if they are religious, just don't be a dick about it. Be loving to other humans, and we'll all get along.
I mean, yeah.
The question is, if it's abusive, if it's to the point where it's bad where it's damaging their psyche.
I feel like Mormonism can be, and probably
100%.
Probably in, I don't know what percentage of cases. It was in my case.
Mine too.
Right? I feel like even just, so there's Mormonism, which fucked with my head. But then like on top of it, at a certain age, forcing a kid to go to church on Sunday feels like child abuse, right? Like forcing the religion on somebody who's not receptive to it.
Yeah.
Just because I'm their parent, right? Yeah. And I get to make these decisions. Even that feels pretty shitty, right? Like, like I didn't want to go to church, but I had to, right? And then at a certain point, I just sort of submitted and just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And ended up on a stupid fucking Mormon mission, right?
Oh, Lord. There may come a time in human development when humans actually realize that while like religions served a necessary function or served several purposes in human development, it was always bad for us. Like that may happen.
I don't
eventually.
know. I don't know. Like it feels like organized religion is ultimately very slippery.
Yeah.
And it's, like it evolves. It's behind the times, especially in these times where things change so quickly, right? They're just sort of inherently behind the times. But if religion survives, which my money is on religion surviving, it'll only be because it figures out this new world we live in.
Right.
And it adapts. And
to that point, I think what we need to be doing is not screaming about religion as bad, but screaming about the things in religion, the things that religions can specifically do that harm people.
Yeah.
And just say, don't do that.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that. Stop harming people.
But
I'm not attacking your religion. I'm attacking this thing that you're doing that's causing harm.
People are responsive to the harm, though. People are gravitate to the harm.
They do.
And that's why, and also I think the thing is, so there maybe the religion that isn't horrible, it adapts. But then there's like, as this dwindling in numbers in Christianity continues to happen, it's only going to be the more extreme.
Yeah.
That friend, there'll be sort of the moderate, harmless, in small numbers, right? But people who just kind of cling to it for whatever reason. But then the fringe is just going to get more heated and awful and more damaging. And
we shouldn't let kids go there.
And kids shouldn't be there.
If grown-ups go to that, there's nothing we can do about that. But we shouldn't allow kids in those places, for sure. There should be a designation that's like, your religion, you have your free speech, but you are designated not okay for kids, and no kids are allowed. It's abuse to take kids.
Put a big M on the church.
Right. This church is rated M for mature. No children are allowed.
Episcopalians can have an E. They're okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're okay.
Mormons, it's like this is PG-13.
It's for teens.
It's don't take kids. All right, friends. Well, if you would like to chime in on how we can help the children, won't someone save the children? Please feel free to write into us, podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave us a voicemail message. We'd love to hear from you. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
And if you want to save these two children, Frank and I, you can go and donate to the show. Thankgodimatheist.com/donate is the place to do that.
This episode was edited by Roger Gowdy, and music was provided by the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston.
Thanks all y'all for tuning in. We sure do appreciate you.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank God I'm Atheist is a production of TGIA Media, LLC, copyright 2025, all rights reserved.